so I'm driving home in my Model 3, and this particular little video is about range anxiety. You can see I've got about 67 kilometers left, and that's just not a whole lot. My daughter drove the vehicle to work early this morning, and I mean like 6 a.m. She had a 4 or 5 hour shift. Then she drove back, went off to a friend's and came back. Then I took it, drove about 80-90 kilometers down south to see a friend, and then they drove it because they hadn't driven a Tesla before, and now I am driving home. And to make that happen, you can see that I have consumed most of my 400 kilometer battery. Now, in traditional Tesla fashion, this battery is actually only charged to 355 kilometers because it's exactly a year old now, a year old this month, and that's all they'll charge to. So I'm a bit disappointed with that, but I can tolerate it. The point to this isn't that the 65 kilometers I've got left is a full-blown crisis. The problem is that a number of people just deny the existence of range anxiety. And while I'm not exactly in the anxious category yet, it's getting there. You will see that electricity, while widely available, obviously, in the Western world, is not as readily available for your vehicle as gasoline stations are. Now, if I had put a little bit of effort into this, I probably could have found a charging station down near my friend's house and blown 20 minutes to charge it up. Well, to put a little bit more in, so that this wasn't an issue. Fortunately, this battery is large enough for me that I'll be able to get home and not have any worry. But if I have to do something immediately afterwards, say I'm going out to dinner, which by the way we are, we will have to use a different vehicle because this will be drained. Now, is that a big problem? No, we've got two vehicles, it's fine. And if I charge up at home for half an hour, I'll have enough juice to get where I was going. So again, hardly a crisis, but it is proof that, you know, this range anxiety thing isn't quite done yet. That doesn't mean that the advantages of an electric car are not so vast that you shouldn't flip over to one. It just means you have to be aware that periodically, and this is a very weird circumstance I had today with all of these kilometers, periodically you're going to run low on electricity and there isn't going to be a super convenient place for you to gas up or to charge up. So you can see here I've got 12 kilometers to home, 63 Ks left. I'll have about 50 Ks left in the proverbial tank, and that's let's go with about 10% of a, well, it's about 15% of a tank if you want to consider that as gasoline. So am I panicky about it? No. Is it a concern? Yes. Does range anxiety exist? Yes. Although it diminishes day by day as more and more chargers become available and as batteries get larger. Mercedes, for instance, just released their 135 mile battery, and you think, oh, that's a weird number for them to release. Yeah, it's 700 kilometers. So 700 kilometers in one charge, it's pretty good. Tesla will catch up to that eventually and have an even better charge. This is the standard Model 3, standard plus actually, with the 402 kilometer battery as I mentioned, but I could have bought the extended range battery, which gets me up to about 500, in which case I'd have about 150 kilometers left after all this driving, and I'd have been fine. So, okay, all of that boils down to, you should be aware that electric vehicles still have some range considerations, and that I wouldn't necessarily put them in the anxiety category. They are concerns. So that's it. If you have any questions or concerns, please get a hold of us.